This could be the break Starkville police have been working toward for nearly 30 years. A possible suspect in the Labor Day murders is charged with capital murder and sexual battery. WCBI News starts now.
WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Breaking news out of Starkville. Starkville police have arrested and charged a man we believe to be the prime suspect in the Labor Day murders from 1990. Tonight, he sits in the Oktibbeha County Jail. An exclusive video. This is Michael W. Devon from Prentiss County. Outside sources tell us Starkville investigators brought him in Saturday evening as part of the investigation to the cold case murder of Betty Jones and the assault on Catherine Krigler. WCBI's Joey Barnes has been following this story and has the latest.
Michael Devon had nothing to say as he arrived at the Starkville Police Department on Saturday night.
Did you kill Betty Jones and Catherine Krigler in 1990?
Those are the same crimes that Starkville detectives have been investigating for nearly 3 decades. Starkville Police spokesman Brandon Lovelady will not confirm that this arrest is connected to the Labor Day case, but Lovelady says that Starkville Police Chief Frank Nichols has scheduled a news conference Monday in connection to Devon's arrest. Here's what we know about Michael Devon. He is 51 years old. He was being held in the Tishomingo County Jail on unrelated drug charges.
Were you in Starkville in 1990 on Labor Day?
If Devon is responsible for these crimes, he would have been 23 years old at the time. And this arrest, if Devon is confirmed to be the suspect, is the result of technology that did not exist in 1990 and good old-fashioned police work. We do know that Starkville investigators have been working on this case using new resources like Ancestry.com and DNA scientists at Parabon Labs in North Carolina and at Scales DNA Lab in Jackson. Our outside sources tell us that this arrest is a result of that extensive work. The actual crime happened in a small house belonging to Catherine Krigler on Labor Day evening in 1990. Her friend Betty Jones was visiting at the time. Police believe Mrs. Jones answered a knock at the door. That's when the suspect entered the home, killed Mrs. Jones, then went into the bedroom where he sexually assaulted Mrs. Krigler and left her for dead. Mrs. Krigler was actually able to call 911. Evidence gathered at the home has proved crucial in what may be closure in this case.
Where have you been since 1990?
Devon will make his first court appearance tomorrow. We will have the latest information on this investigation tomorrow evening at 5 and 6 on WCBI News. Well, neighbors have moved on and businesses have changed, but the people who live and work across the street from Betty Jones's former home and Catherine Krigler's former home on Martin Luther King Drive in Starkville tell WCBI's Cash Matlock that they are relieved an arrest has finally been made in the case.
28 years have passed. The city of Starkville has grown, but this story still strikes a chord with people in the community.
There are very few people still here from the 90s, but now we're all hearing about it for the first time and going, wow, wait, this happened here? How could this happen here in Starkville?
It's a crazy thing to happen in any small town, especially right across the street from somewhere that you work now.
Locals say they're glad there's been a big break in the case.
We're really happy that the guy got arrested. We're really happy to see the victims win. So this is great for their families and the whole community to know that the police are still actively pursuing things and doing their job.
Starkville police have been working to find answers since the brutal crime happened here inside this home.
And it really is just a senseless murder, but I'm glad that the police have kept up with it and kept trying to solve it after all these years.
The owner of the house allowed WCBI to go inside. Investigators believe Betty Jones was murdered just inside the front door, and Catherine Krigler was assaulted in what once was her bedroom. Mrs. Krigler managed to crawl to the phone and pull it off the hook to call 911, giving crucial information to detectives. Residents say they hope the family gets justice.
We're just really happy that he did get caught and that we can put this to rest, and the people that were suspected to be maybe part of this crime, their names can be cleared.
The current owner of the house said he purchased the home in 1991, just 1 year after the murders. Just in, sources say a pedestrian has just been hit by a vehicle in Columbus. They tell us it happened on Highway 45 north of Hank's Barbecue. A WCBI reporter is en route to the scene. We'll keep you updated as more information becomes available. An early morning, one car crash in Lowndes County claims the life of a 21-year-old man. Coroner Greg Merchant says the man is Ethan Persons. Merchant says a Lowndes County deputy was on his way home from work when he found the wreck in the wooded area west of Highway 69. Mississippi Highway Patrol Sergeant Derek Beckham says the crash happened before daylight on Highway 69 just north of Concord Road. Persons and 22-year-old Justin Lloyd were in a Mustang traveling south when they ran off the road and hit a tree. Both men were ejected from the car. Persons was pronounced dead at the scene, and Lloyd was airlifted to a hospital in Memphis. The accident remains under investigation by MHP. Another major story in national news this weekend was the confirmation of Justice Brett Kavanaugh to the U.S. Supreme Court. Kavanaugh was sworn in by Chief Justice John Roberts and retired Justice Anthony Kennedy Saturday evening. President Trump will hold another ceremony for Kavanaugh at the White House tomorrow night. Here's the latest.
I stand before you today on the heels of a tremendous victory for our nation, our people, and our beloved Constitution.
President Trump was in a celebratory mood in Kansas shortly after Brett Kavanaugh was confirmed as the newest Supreme Court justice.
On this vote, the ayes are 50, the nays are 48.
It was one of the Senate's closest Supreme Court confirmations in more than a century, made possible with the support of West Virginia Democrat Joe Manchin and Maine Republican Susan Collins. Collins said the FBI report on Dr. Christine Blasey Ford's allegations of sexual assault was a factor.
When I looked at the lack of any corroborating evidence, I could not conclude that Brett Kavanaugh was her assailant.
But Collins says she does believe Dr. Ford experienced some kind of trauma.
I do believe that she was assaulted. I don't know by whom, and I'm not certain when.
A suggestion Democrat Mazie Hirono called insulting.
Well, to say that she thinks that Dr. Ford thinks that she was assaulted, what is that?
With just a month to go before the midterms, both parties say the bitter confirmation fight is helping to galvanize their supporters.
Change must come from where change in America always begins, the ballot box.
I want to thank the other side for the tactics that have allowed us to kind of energize and get involved our own voters.
A senior White House official tells CBS News the president sees the importance of the Kavanaugh confirmation, which will be a theme in the run-up to the election and beyond. Nicole Killian, CBS News, the White House.
Well, it's now time to get a first look at our weather with meteorologist Jacob Dickey. Hey, Jacob.
Hey, Jory, and hey at home, we've got a nice cool evening for us here after that summer heat during the day. As we look outside in Louisville, 67 right now, one of our cooler spots in the air. Really very comfortable for the temperatures we had. We're seeing those 60s and 70s all across the board here. Those temperatures will continue to fall. I think we're going to head up to the mid to upper 60s under a mild and calm night, mostly clear. No problems out there. Coffee tomorrow morning is going to be perfect outside. As we look ahead, a midweek cold front is coming. That is finally bringing some fall temperatures. We also do need to talk about the tropics. Tropical Storm Michael is strengthening as we speak and moving to the north. We'll have the details on that and more coming up in just a bit. Joy.
A store in Columbus is giving back through their A Gorgeous Way to Give campaign. Today, Ulta Beauty's salon team put on an event called Cut for a Cause. The purpose of the event is to raise funds to help find a cure for breast cancer. The proceeds from all sales, haircuts, stylings, and facials and other beauty services go towards breast cancer research.
Well, everyone knows someone that has been affected by this disease, and it hits close to home.
Ulta Beauty Corporation has raised $22 million for the Breast Cancer Research Foundation since 2009. The Black Diamonds hosted their annual Big Benefit Rodeo earlier today at the Black Diamond Field in Brooksville. People from all over the Magnolia State came to the event to race motorcycles, grill burgers, and enjoy music. Every year, proceeds from the event go to help local children who battle illnesses like leukemia, cerebral palsy, and this year's recipients for donations are Sequoia Yates, Zayden Poe, and C.J. Coleman. Guest speaker Willie Mae Hopkins says faith plays a major role in her family.
Faith plays a role in this because she has seizures too. And every time she has a seizure, you know, that's what the faith come in believing that she's going to come out of the seizure. And she does. And I just thank God for it.
If anyone would like to make a donation to any of these year's honorees, you can mail it to 1160 Sanders Hill Road in Brooksville. We all love breakfast, but finding the time to make it is tough. Mom to Mom might have you a solution. Stay tuned.
You're watching WCBI News at 10 with Jory Talley.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, early mornings can be extremely busy. So in tonight's Mom to Mom, we discuss how mothers can get a healthy breakfast prepared on the go.
Welcome to Mom. Today we're in the kitchen and we're going to show you how to make a healthy breakfast on the go. All right, Chef Kate, breakfast on the go.
Yes.
Those busy school mornings. What do you got for us?
I've got something you can make ahead.
Oh, I love that.
Similar to like a frittata or an omelet, and it's called egg foo young. So it's kind of fun and different, but delicious.
Let's do it.
So first you want to peel and thinly slice your garlic, and then we're going to do the same with the ginger and the green onions. And the three of those go into a skillet with a little bit of olive oil, a pinch of Celtic salt, and some red pepper flakes. To the skillet, we're going to stir in our broccoli slaw and let that cook for about 10 minutes until it's nice and tender, and finish it with about a tablespoon of rice vinegar. So we're just going to whisk together 6 eggs with a little bit of tamari soy sauce. Once your broccoli slaw is nice and tender, we're going to add in our cooked rice and our egg mixture and let it cook for about a minute or two on the stovetop just until it's set. The skillet's going to go into the oven under the broiler for about 2 to 3 minutes until the eggs are nice and set. And we're going to pull it out and let it rest. Alright, so to finish this off, I let it rest for a few minutes to cool. A little bit of sesame seeds, some green onion, and then I slice it up like a little pizza. Put it in my to-go containers for the kids. I like to serve with ketchup.
Ketchup's a must.
Yes.
For the kids.
For the kids. And for me too.
And me too.
Let's give it a taste.
Delicious.
So good.
For this recipe and more, go to the Mom to Mom Facebook page.
Mom to Mom is brought to you by Preferred Pediatrics, seeing children and youth of all ages at physicians and surgeons across from Gilmore Hospital in Amory.
Tropical storm Michael is strengthening as we speak now with 60-mile-an-hour sustained winds as it organizes and slowly moves north. That's some bad news for folks along the Gulf Coast. We've got the full details for you after the break.
Alert forecast with meteorologist Jacob Dickey.
Well, it's not a bad evening out there after all that summer heat in the day. We get to enjoy a bit of a cooler, milder night there. It's still, though, those dew points in the upper 60s and low 70s across the area. Makes it feel a little bit uncomfortable, but not too bad when we get these temperatures tonight down into the mid to upper 60s. Coffee in the morning, be perfect outside. Grab that nuppaper or the WCBI mobile app and watch us in the morning show because it'll be 67 as you start the day in Columbus, 66 in Starkville, 65 Eupora, 68 in Tupelo under a mostly clear sky. For Monday, right back to summer. We warm up into the mid to upper 80s by lunchtime, afternoon. Upper 80s, maybe low 90s in a few spots. I think we will see the chance for an isolated shower across the area. Notice 5 o'clock, 1 or 2 spots here or there. Most of us staying dry. Not a bad day for us on Monday. Just a little warm in the afternoon. And of course, any of those showers will dissipate after sunset. For our highs, 89 in Amory and in Columbus, 91 in Macon, 90 West Point, 89 in Tupelo. And if we look at our maximum heat index values, hopefully this is the last day we have to take a peek at this. Look at this, upper 90s, even 100 maximum heat index on Monday in Aliceville. It will be very much like summer out there. Good news though, change is coming. One, a cold front off to our west finally sliding in our direction. Bad news though is we've got a tropical system that will affect some of our friends on the Gulf Coast. Let's start talking about Tropical Storm Michael right now. Currently has sustained winds of 60 miles an hour, and as a meteorologist, when you start to see the swirl like that very rapidly strengthening, definitely will will be a storm we will have to monitor over the next several days. The good news for the Mississippi Gulf Coast is it steers away from us, but still likely to make landfall at least as a Category 2 hurricane, and it will be strengthening inland, and that's something that is a little bit dangerous for this particular storm. Here's what we look at for the track here. The center of the low is down to the south. The high pressure to the east helps to drag it that way, but this front, as it slowed down a little bit, that's been better for the Mississippi and Alabama Gulf Coast. This front will push a little further to the south and east and help to deflect the storm off more to the east. Therefore, it will be a Florida panhandle problem here, again making landfall somewhere between Pensacola and off towards Gainesville, Florida. We think, again, a Category 2 hurricane with winds at least 100 miles an hour. Quick graphic here. Fall is coming. I just got to show this here after all of the summer heat that we've been having with this front coming in. Finally, some fall temperatures on our 7-day forecast there. A few more days of summer, still the 80s through Wednesday. Wednesday will be a bit wet out there with showers and storms, but mid-70s, low 70s for the weekend. Boy, it's going to be feeling great next weekend.
Mississippi State football snagged a much-needed win against number 8 Auburn yesterday. More on that big game coming up next in sports. Stay with us.
Your WCBI Sports with Courtney Robb.
Mississippi State finally had its first SEC win. Whether it was because head coach Joe Moorhead, quote-unquote, took his coaching pills that morning, or a great run game, the Bulldogs snagged the much-needed win against number 8 Auburn. Sports director Tom Ebel reports from Starkville after witnessing the big win firsthand.
The second half couldn't have been described any better than by Nick Fitzgerald.
It's Mississippi State, man. It's just kind of how we are.
The roller coaster of emotions Mississippi State fans know all too well was in full swing. From an all but certain touchdown, turned fumble rolls in their favor, to a game-sealing field goal, blocked, and ending with the senior quarterback racing his way into the end zone to finally put it away. The Bulldogs get back on track, defeating 8th-ranked Auburn 23-9.
Tough times don't test your character, they reveal it. And I think our character as a team was revealed today, and you know, the messages remain consistent. So we didn't go in last Sunday and fly off the rails and try to reinvent the wheel because we lost a close football game to a very good Florida team. We're going to stick with our process. We're going to do what we do, but we're going to do it better.
We got back to playing and being how we were. You know, I think that we got away from ourselves. I don't want to say cockiness. I don't want to say any of that, overconfident, but you know, for some reason we just weren't clicking and it wasn't working. And so this week, you know, we kind of came together and said that we're going to get this thing right.
It was a night to remember for Fitzgerald, rushing for 197 yards and 2 touchdowns against one of the best rush defenses in the SEC. But it was a 39-yard run late in the fourth quarter that cemented Fitzgerald in SEC history. The senior captain becoming the top rushing QB in conference history, reaching 2,999 yards.
It's an achievement for me, but it's a huge compliment to them. It's a huge compliment to how hard they play for me and how well they do, you know, specifically my 5 up front, blocking and opening up holes for us.
I'm proud of him. You know, he's been taking a lot of negative feedback, but he's a grown man. He took care of business tonight.
He's a tough son of a gun now. I mean, you come in and you see him on a Sunday after a game, and he's been through the battles, and I think it's a testament to his leadership, and it's a testament to his willingness to do what it takes for the offense and the team to be successful. That's why he's like the captain, because he's selfless, and he cares more about the team than individual success.
For Joe Moorhead, his first SEC win as a head coach comes at the perfect time, defeating a top 10 team in a must-win situation heading into the bye week. Through the adversity of the past 2 weeks, Moorhead says he continues to trust the process.
My confidence never wavered. I lack a lot of things. Confidence is not one of them. And I think that's what's great about our team, that, you know, we didn't flinch. We didn't cower in the face of adversity. You know, we didn't pout. We went out on Sunday of this week and watched the film from the week before and, you know, moved forward. But that being said, obviously the momentum of beating the top 10 team at home, carrying that into a bye week where you feel good being 4-2, and then having a huge test on the road in 2 weeks, you know, beats the alternative.
That huge test Moorhead refers to as a trip to Death Valley to take on LSU on October 20th. In Starkville, Tom Ebold for WCBI Sports.
College football yesterday, national football today. The Titans taking on the Bills in Buffalo. Got those highlights for you next in sports. Stay with us. It's Sunday, so time for some NFL action. The Titans up in Buffalo to take on the Bills for Sunday Funday. Buffalo taking an early lead in the first. QB Josh Allen scrambles for the 14-yard touchdown. They're going to make it 7-0 Bills early on. Second half now, things getting exciting. Bills putting the pressure on, leading 7-6. Deion Lewis fumbles the ball, but Buffalo still able to recover. They're going to keep the lead 7-6. Stephen Hoshka going to kick a 40-yard field goal, making it 10-6. Bills with a bigger lead now. And Tennessee's right on the Bills' heels. Marcus Mariota decides to run on the play. He's going to leap over Matt Milano and grab a first down. How about that? Track and field star or football player? You ask yourself that question because he could be both. Mariota now going to get flushed out of the pocket, throws one to Nick Williams, waiting for it to run into the end zone, but he drops the ball. A critical mistake right here. Definitely would have been a great touchdown to give the Titans the lead. Titans still with a kick for a 39 field goal, and they would trail by 1, 10-9. Tennessee still putting the pressure on. Allen's going to get intercepted, and then off of the deflection, Jackson is going to take the ball, and it's going to take a couple seconds before he's able to get brought down, but they get another field goal here. The Titans would finally take the lead 12-10 in this game, but Buffalo says, hey, we're up to the challenge. 3rd and 3. Allen's going to pass to LaShawn McCoy and grab a first down there. He's not going down pretty easy. Wants to get as much distance as possible. And Stephen Hoshka now, he's going to get a 46-yard field goal attempt. And the kick is going to be good. Buffalo gets the win off a game-winning field goal. 13-12 was the final score. Titans doing a good job hanging in there. Mariota went 14 for 26 with 129 yards and 1 interception. Next up, they play the Ravens next Sunday. But that's going to be it for sports. We'll have your last look after the break. Stick with us.
Jory, are you over summer yet?
So over the summer. Where is the fall? I need that weather to fall on in.
Friday, it's falling in. 70s out there. It's going to feel wonderful this weekend.
Actually fall weather.
Yeah, for sure.
Y'all have a great week. We'll see you back here tomorrow night.